Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. You are tuned in to Real Talk with Nat. I am your host, Natalie Naman, and we are here on episode 9. Before I dig in, before we get stuck into tonight's topic, I just want to say I hope you all have had a great festive few days, whatever it is that you have been up to. I've definitely had a lovely time. I've had a lot of family time here in Bedford, also back home visiting my parents. It's been really, really, really lovely. And I've actually just come back. So it's the 27th of December today. And it is 8:05 p.m. And I've literally just come back from doing a photo shoot for my new brand, Master Yourself, which I am so buzzing about. I have done a few posts and stuff about it already, so this isn't brand new information, but it's my new 12-week online mindset course, which is the ultimate personal development program, and it is launching in just over a week. A few of you have actually already signed up for it already, which is amazing. And yeah, cannot wait for you guys to see everything. I am well into the swing of things already. And actually, that's very, very in theme for what it is that I'm going to talk to you guys about this evening. So today we're diving into a topic which actually couldn't be more timely for where we are in terms of this time of year. And I'm going to be talking about why New Year's resolutions are actually often just a bit of a recipe for disaster. And actually, what you really want to be focusing on, especially at this time of year, and I'm going to say that with a pinch of salt, because this is something that you want to be focusing on all the time. As I've just been saying, it is that time of year again, the festive season. We are still very much in the festive season right now. Christmas has come and gone, and many of us are very much still kind of basking in that glow of cozy family time, being at home, treating ourselves to all the chocolates and maybe a few too many glasses of Prosecco and a little bit of that holiday chaos, which is definitely going down at this time of year. But I also really want to just say, I hope you've had a chance to, unwind, connect with loved ones and just do the things which you want to do at this time of year, because that's different for absolutely everybody as well. And let's be real, this time of year also tends to come with that feeling of us thinking that maybe we have just overdone it a little bit. And, those thoughts of the new year are definitely starting to creep in. Now, there's definitely something magical about the idea of a new year, a new start, a fresh start, that whole kind of blank canvas feeling, clean slate, fresh page, new chapter, new book even for some, right? And I definitely feel like there is definitely some of that in the air at this time of year, which is amazing. And I think that we should absolutely embrace that. But also what does tend to come at this time of year as well is a lot of pressure that actually we put on ourselves. It's not even pressure that, anyone else is putting on us. Maybe sometimes it is, but the majority of the time, this is a pressure that is coming from ourselves to ourselves, and it's actually a bit of a pressure that we have to just change our life overnight. 31st of December comes, we need to change everything. And that is just not how it's going to be at all. If you're to jump on social media now, or even just talking to people that all you're seeing at this time of year is new year, new me, new year, new goals. Like, it's all that we see in here, specifically during this period between Christmas and New Year. And it can be really easy to just get swept up into all the excitement and oh my God, what am I going to do? What goals am I going to set for myself? What New Year's resolutions am I going to set for myself? We can really get carried away into all of this stuff. But the question is, are those resolutions actually going to set you up for success, or are they going to set you up for failure? I know the answer. And the title of this podcast also tells you the answer, but I just want to tell you a little bit more about why that is, so that you can get a bit of a better understanding as to the process behind this thought process. So before we do get into that, I just want to take a moment to kind of reflect on the year that has passed. 2024 has gone so quick, so quick. And I know every single year, I have this conversation with many people. We all say the same thing. Every single year, it's like the year just goes quicker and quicker. The next year comes and then that year goes quicker and quicker. And I just think at this time of year, it's a really, really great time to just pause and reflect. So some questions which you could ask yourself just to do a little bit of reflection to see where you're at right now, because that is so important. Before you do any kind of goal setting work, before you try and get to that next step or that next place, you have to know exactly where you are right now. Okay, so what went well for you in 2024? That's a really great question to ask yourself. What went well for you this year? What lessons did you learn this year? What challenges did you face in 2024? How did you grow through those challenges? Take a moment. I want you to, those questions which I've just said, take a moment, pause this podcast, get your notepad out, do a little bit of writing on it, really think about these things, really figure out exactly kind of where you're at right now, because it's just going to help pivot you into that next direction once you can get clear on the answers to these questions. Just take a moment to acknowledge your wins. Life flies by, like I just said, and it's so easy to just not even acknowledge the little things. I'm doing that in speech marks because those little wins that we experience daily, weekly, monthly, those are the things which add up to create the bigger feelings and those bigger wins that we can feel and that we can experience. And whatever that looked like to you this year, whenever I'm talking to a client, whenever I'm speaking to friends, I always say, maybe your win for this day or this week or this year was just getting out of bed every single day, because that can be a fucking challenge for many. Life can be really difficult. So if you have managed to get out of bed every single day this year, even when you've really fucking not wanted to, and when things have been really fucking hard, that is a massive win. So acknowledge yourself for that and just take a moment to just have some gratitude for yourself for being here, because it's so important to do that. And that feeling of gratitude, that is something which I am so big on. Those of you who have followed me for a while, those of you who have worked with me, if you just talk to me on a regular basis, you will know how much I praise gratitude, because gratitude is where the magic happens. When you have genuine feelings of gratitude for yourself, for your life, for situations, for the littlest of things, gratitude will connect you to greater things. Having gratitude will give you more things to be grateful for. So if there's one thing actually that you're going to take away from this podcast, and I know we're only not even 10 minutes in, just do your absolute best for the next year to feel as much gratitude as you can and see how your life will change, because it will. And, by reflecting on what your wins are, by reflecting on your blessings, the lessons, all those things that you've been through in 2024, that reflective work is going to help you get into alignment with your true self, with your purpose, with the universe, however it is you want to say it. And that is going to connect you to more greatness. Now, just on that, and on this whole topic of reflection, review, and goal setting and planning ahead and all of that, if you are finding it hard to kind of organize your thoughts, or you're needing a little bit more structure around all of that stuff, reflecting on the past year, figuring out where you're going, exactly what you want to be doing, I have something very special for you. So on New Year's Eve, which is tomorrow, by the time I release this, I'm aiming to release this on the 30th. So I'm hoping that I've got that right. But tomorrow, New Year's Eve, I'm actually hosting a very special online Zoom call. I ain't going out on New Year's Eve. I am fully staying in. And I'm hosting this session, not only for you guys, but for myself as well. I have had some transformational shifts going on in my life over this last year. And I know what the bigger picture is, but I need to get some clarity and some confirmation with my own thoughts and my vision as to exactly how I want 2025 and onwards to look. So that's the main reason why I decided to host this call. So New Year's Eve, 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. I'm hosting an intentions and goal setting call live on Zoom. It's only £7 to join. And yeah, the aim of the call is to help you get super clear on what you want next year to look like. And we will start the call with doing that reflection and reviewing work, which I was just talking about as well, which is the most important first step before we do any of that other stuff. So I'll give more details about that and how you can join at the end of this episode. But for now, let's dig into that main topic, which we're going to be talking about tonight, which is why New Year's resolutions lead to failure. So there's a massive problem with New Year's resolutions, and we're going to talk about it. Statistically, so I'm not just making this up, guys. The statistics show that most resolutions actually fail by mid-February, right? So that's 6 weeks or less of beginning whatever your resolution may be. Now, there's a few key reasons why I believe that this happens. The first one, and I don't like this word. You've heard me say before that I don't like this word, but I'm going to give you the context as to why I'm using it. So the first reason why they fail is because the resolutions that you're setting are unrealistic. Now, I don't mean that the result is unrealistic, because the result is always realistic. But the way that you're going about it, and the way that you're putting the pressure on yourself, and the way that you're assuming life is going to go for the next year is unrealistic, okay? We often tend to set resolutions which are huge, okay? And we also tend to set resolutions which are really vague. So there's no kind of specificity surrounding them. So they're huge resolutions which are really vague, and often ones which we just think we should be saying because everyone else is saying something similar. They're not actually what we truly desire. For example, from the 1st of January, I am going to go to the gym every single day, 7 days a week. And I'm going to make sure that I go at 6:30 a.m. before I even get up and go to work. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to be there for at least an hour. And I'm going to make sure that after that workout, every single day, 7 days a week, I'm going to have a really healthy breakfast, right? So even just the first part of that, I'm going to go to the gym every single day. That in itself does not take into account anything surrounding the unpredictability of life, which happens on a regular basis, right? So a much better way to rephrase that and to relook at it, rather than setting a resolution of I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week, you can set a goal and you can set an intention of changing your lifestyle, even just very slightly, so that in January, rather than going to the gym 0 times a week, you make sure that you get 2 to 3 sessions in at a time which suits you. Automatically, just from me saying that, you probably can sit there and go, well, yeah, that actually makes so much more sense. There is a much higher possibility of me going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week at a time which suits me, in comparison to committing to 7 days a week, no matter what, at 6:30 a.m. Now, the next point is surrounding the fact that they are vague. They lack depth. New Year's resolutions lack depth. They lack specificity. So they're often very kind of surface level goals that don't actually address any of the underlying issues which you've got going on as to why you're here in the first place, right? So they won't address any of the underlying habits, your beliefs, any of the systems that are going on in your head that are actually the reason why you need to grow. And by changing those things, you will grow and you will start to change your life. So for example, a New Year's resolution might be, I want to lose 20 pounds. First of all, if I was to ask you, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? You'll probably say, because I'm not happy with my weight. But you won't go into the detail and the depth of, okay, but why am I not happy with my weight? How did I get here in the first place? How is this actually making me feel? How did I end up being 20 pounds overweight at this point in my life? How am I going to address the relationship that I actually have with food? How am I going to address my relationship with exercise? Why am I just looking for a quick fix? Why am I just assuming that I'm going to lose 20 pounds when actually there is so much shit that I need to deal with first before I even think about numbers like that? That losing 20 pounds becomes this short-term quick fix rather than actually a long-term shift. Because even if you were to lose 20 pounds and you didn't address any of that stuff which I just spoke about, you would be back here probably needing to lose 30 pounds or 40 pounds later on down the line, because until you deal with those root causes and those root issues, you're always going to end up at square one, probably 10 times worse. And thirdly, the reason why I believe New Year's resolutions lead you to failure is because they are literally so extreme. They are literally all or nothing. So following on from everything that I've just said, it's such a kind of strong, rigid commitment that you've got to go and do that workout 7 days a week, that the first time you fuck up and the first time that you don't do it, you feel so shit about it that you just give up. That's usually what happens. So rather than setting yourself up for failure and setting these huge commitments to your life, just think about the smaller things which you can change on a gradual basis, which are going to have that long-term sustainability. And I'm going to talk to you more about this now. Now, the answer to all of this is just working on your mindset. It's working on you, working on yourself, working on your thoughts, working on your beliefs, working on all those systems which are currently in your head, which have led you to where you are today. Because every single decision that you have made previously in your life has led you to where you are today. Okay, so all the decisions that you're going to make moving forward are obviously going to lead you to those next realities that you're going to experience in your life. And all of that stuff comes from yourself. And the real secret to lasting change is not about setting New Year's resolutions. It is doing the mindset work, which you have been avoiding. We have all been there. Some of us you'll still be listening to this and you'll still be there. And it is so important, guys, to just take some responsibility for where you are in your life. It's so easy to blame external factors, external people, other people. It's their fault. It's because that happened. The reason why I'm feeling this way is because of that person. You can go and blame everyone and anything, but until you take responsibility for your own life and recognize that you are in full control of the way that you react and that you respond to certain things, until that happens, you're going to be pretty miserable and you're always going to be finding excuses and you're always going to be finding reasons to be unhappy. The sooner you can take control of all of this stuff, and that is why I am so passionate about mindset coaching and just teaching people the tools and the techniques and all the things which you need to make this happen, the sooner that you can do that, the better your life is going to be. I promise. Your mindset literally shapes your actions. The beliefs that you hold about yourself, your abilities, the things that you believe are possible for you, all those things are what dictate your behavior. It's what dictates your action. If you don't believe that you're capable of succeeding in whatever area of your life that might be, you're not going to succeed. So let's go back to setting the New Year's resolutions. If you're setting all these resolutions that you're going to do X, Y, and Z, but actually your belief system is telling you that you're a failure and that you're not capable of achieving X, let alone Y, let alone Z as well, how are you possibly going to achieve X, Y, and or Z when your belief systems are telling you you're not going to do it? You have to address what's going on in your mind and all the stuff that's going on up here in order to get to that success point. We have something which is called a paradigm. Now, I go into a lot of detail around this when I'm coaching, when I'm working with my clients, but it's basically, your paradigm is basically a multitude of habits, thoughts and behaviors which you have created over your entire life, which have stemmed from childhood, from like literally from when you're a baby, from what your parents have said to you, from what you've learned at school, from what you've learned on the television, from what you've heard on the news. All of your beliefs and your current systems are what is in your paradigm right now. And in order for you to change your ways and in order for you to actually, start seeing results which you haven't yet seen before, you have to change that paradigm. You got to change the story. You got to change what you're telling yourself. And when you start actually changing that story and actually changing your thoughts and actually changing your feelings, which will then lead to changing your behaviors, that is when the action steps will change, and that is when your reality will change. Changing that paradigm and changing that system is the key to transformation. Now, growth requires consistency. Small and consistent shifts are so much more effective than these massive, big, dramatic, life-changing things which we set out to do when we make our New Year's resolutions. When you can sit there and commit to ongoing mindset work, to ongoing personal development, to ongoing behaviors which are going to ultimately help you feel better about yourself and create more positive realities for you in your life. By doing that, you're creating a strong foundation, and that is where lasting change becomes a thing. Literally think of it like building a house, right? You have to start with those foundations. If those foundations aren't there, you're going to build that house, and halfway through, if you're lucky enough to get halfway through, the whole thing's going to come collapsing down because the foundations are not strong enough. That is why I'm so passionate about, all quick fixes in anything in life. Anything in life, whether it's weight loss, like that's a whole other topic, which quick fixes piss me off to the ultimate degree. But anything in life where you're expecting to see fast rewards without building any of those foundational works, you're not gonna, if you see success, it will be so short-lived. Okay. And most people will not even ever even get an ounce of seeing success when those foundations haven't been built. You have to just really commit. If you're going to be making commitments, you have to commit to building your strong foundations. And there's that famous saying of, trust the journey, trust the process, rather than focusing on the outcome only. Often when we focus on the outcome, we miss all the good stuff that comes along the way. And that is such a real thing. That's so, so, so true. The growth and the magic actually happens on the journey and throughout all those processes and throughout the failures that you're going to make along the way, which you will, because you're only a human being. Like so many of the most successful people out there will always say, fail forward, fail forward, fail forward. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to getting that result that you actually want. So when you do experience a failure, whatever that might be, take it as a win, because you're getting one step closer. You've learned a lesson, you've done something, it hasn't worked. So you now know, right, okay, that doesn't work. We go again, and you're one step closer. But you have to have that. That takes a certain type of mindset. That takes a certain type of commitment to growth and a commitment to developing and, all of this stuff. It just takes commitment. But if you want something enough, you will commit. And also just around this topic of the new year and 2025 and what you want that year to look like, one of the most important questions, which I really want you to think about, is who do you want to be? What do you want your self-identity to be? Instead of focusing on losing 20 pounds or making $1 million, who do you want to be? Who do you want that person to be? Instead of focusing on, I want to lose 20 pounds, focus on becoming the healthiest version of yourself. Instead of focusing on, I want a resolution to earn $1 million this year, focus on the process of building a fucking epic empire. Like, who do you want to be? That is such a powerful, powerful question. And actually, in my Master Yourself program, we have a whole module which is around your self-identity. And I take you through a step-by-step guide of all of the questions and all of those things that you really, really have to think about in order to figure that out, because there's a lot of stuff that you need to cover. And unless you know who you are right now, unless you know what changes you want to make, and unless you know who you truly want to be, you're going to struggle with holding that vision of what you want that end goal to look like, because you have to be so certain of all of those things. Mindset work also is so important when it comes to life's challenges. And we all know that we experience challenges in life. We just do. Now, the ultimate goal when it comes to life's challenges, and this is something which I would say, I'm trying to think of the timeline of when this really truly kicked in. I would say it was probably about maybe 2 years ago, 1.5 to 2 years ago. So considering I've been in this personal development space for almost 10 years, and it took me until 2 years ago to truly nail this, because that's how long it can take. The ultimate goal is, when shit happens and when shit hits the fan, obviously, yes, you're going to have those initial feelings of anger, of sadness, those negative thoughts, those negative feelings. Obviously, those are going to come at any point, no matter how much mindset work you've done. You're only a human being. But once that has happened, once you've experienced those feelings of being a human being, you very, very quickly can sit there and go, what is this trying to teach me? What is this lesson here? What am I learning from this situation? Because that is the ultimate goal, to be able to know that shit has hit the fan, to feel those feelings that you're going to feel as a human being, but always know and recognize that that is happening to better you somehow. And even though at the time it feels horrendous, you will always look back and you will find a positive from that situation, no matter what that situation is, and no matter how horrendous it might feel at the time. It will always lead to something, whether it's a way that you look at life, whether it's a relationship that you've built with somebody, whether it's something you've changed within your health, within your wellness, whatever it might be. It could be absolutely anything, but you will always find something positive that has come from that. And the sooner that you can just recognize that something is happening for a reason, the easier that challenge is going to be to face. The sooner that you can recognize that things are happening for you rather than to you, that is where true growth lies. And that is where things start to change in your life, because you are literally seeing things from a different lens. Mindset work helps you with your resilience. It helps you with your problem solving skills. It helps you with compassion. You're just better equipped to handle setbacks. And that is why, I will always encourage everybody to just do the work. Do the mindset work, do the personal development work, because your life will be better. It's not one of these things where it's like, oh, maybe my life will get better if I do a bit of mindset work. No, your life will definitely be better, because you will be happier and things will be better when you do the work. So stop avoiding it. Stop looking for those quick fixes. I promise you, the quick fixes are not the answer. Even though you might think you're finding that joy for a short period of time, just remember that it's going to be a short period of time unless you deal with the shit. And just talking about success a little bit more as well, I really just want to talk about the universal laws, because success isn't just about effort. It's not about just taking action. It's about being in alignment. That word alignment is like, I just say it all the time. Like whenever I'm feeling good, I'm always just like, oh yes, I'm just feeling in alignment. Whenever good things happen, oh my God, I'm just so in alignment. The law of attraction, the law of cause and effect, the law of vibration. Now, the law of vibration is where it is at. Okay. It's not about just thinking about the things and them coming your way. It's not about just taking the action either. You have to take the action and you have to be in the same frequency. You have to be vibrating on that same frequency, on that same level as what you want that outcome to be. Everything in the universe is energy. Everything. Okay? Everything. This bit from my camera, this is energy. This candle is energy. If I light this candle, that flame is energy. Obviously, we know that the light bulb in there is running from energy, right? Everything is energy. Money is energy. Love is energy. Kindness is energy. Plus all those negative feelings, anger, jealousy, sadness, anxiety, all of those things are all energy. To attract success, you have to align your energy to the frequency of success. You have to feel good. Now, there are loads of things which you can do to shift your frequency, but that's, again, a whole other podcast for a different day. But if you can just focus on feeling your best as often as possible, and again, gratitude, which is what I spoke about earlier, genuine feelings of gratitude will change your frequency to a higher frequency. So just feeling your best as often as possible, that is 100% where things are going to start to change as well. And just touching on the law of cause and effect as well, because that is a massive, massive thing. The law of cause and effect emphasizes that every action that you take will have a response. So by doing the mindset work and by actually doing the work within yourself, it will lead you to taking those correct action steps, which are in alignment with you and who you want to be and who you want to become and those results that you actually want. It will set you up for success. Because if you haven't done any of that mindset work, the likelihood is you're going to make not the best decisions all the time, which are not always going to lead to those right actions, which are best for you. And you find yourself in this vicious circle of things just keep going wrong, right? I'm sure some of you can relate to that. So just honestly, guys, please just do the work. So some practical steps just around mindset work, obviously other than working with me. But if you want to start somewhere, you can start somewhere now, which is not going to cost you anything. It's not going to be any investment financially. You can 100% just start this right now. And I recommend that you do is firstly, start journaling. Journaling is just one of the most powerful things. Just getting your thoughts out of here and onto paper. Always handwrite. That's one of my biggest tips. If I ever work with anybody and I see them typing or on an iPad or on their phone, I'm like, no. What are you doing? Pen to paper. Your brain works differently. Your mind works differently when you have to write pen to paper in comparison to digitally. Okay, so start journaling, start reflecting your thoughts, start reflecting on your beliefs, start reflecting your behaviors, and just write. There's no right or wrong answer. Okay, just whatever comes out, just trust it and just start writing. Journaling is such a powerful tool. The second thing which you can start doing is just practice self-awareness. Self-awareness is so key for anything in your life. You have to be self-aware. Notice when you're stuck in maybe some negative habits, some negative patterns. Have that awareness that that's where you're at, because once you've been able to accept that, it will help you move on to, okay, so I'm aware that that's probably not the best thing that I should be doing right now. So what could I start doing to get me out of that negative habit? Just having that initial level of self-awareness is always the first step into the next level of success. So highly recommend just try your best to raise that level of self-awareness as much as you can. The third thing, which just goes back to what I spoke about at the beginning, is just celebrate your small wins. No win is a small win, that's not a saying for no reason. Celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how small you might think that is. The fourth thing I'm going to recommend is visualization. Now, my call on New Year's Eve, which I'm going to tell you about shortly, we're going to be involving some visualization work. Visualization, again, if you can really do it properly, which again takes a little bit of practice, but being able to close your eyes and fully visualize something can take yourself to a place which is ultimately going to make you feel a certain way. That is where the whole manifestation process really kicks in as well. Being able to really see it, to feel it, to connect to that emotion to it. Your brain is literally believing that you are in a certain place. That is a huge part of manifestation, being able to do that. So spend some time, daily if you can, or at least, a couple of times a week or weekly, just visualizing what you want that end goal to be. What do you want those results of your life to be? Really visualize it, get clear on it. If someone was to ask you to draw a picture of what you want that end goal to be, you want to be able to sit there, draw a picture, give it to them, and then go, oh, okay, you want this, and you want that, and that. And it wants to be so clear. That is how clear it's got to be in your mind in order for the universe to know what to hand to you. And that emotion attached to that is so important as well. So you want to be able to feel the emotions attached to the outcome. But then you also, and this is what gets confusing sometimes for people, you want to feel the emotion attached to the outcome, but you want to release the attachment of needing for it to happen, and you need it to happen now. Okay, so you want to be able to feel the emotion of the end result. That should be strong. But in terms of when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen, you want to release that emotional attachment. Again, that's something that I will go into a lot deeper. If you're working with me on a more personal level, we can really dig into all of that stuff. But that's 100% a great starting point. And my last tip is to just surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with people who are going to help you. And I don't mean help you as in, oh, here you go, have £1,000 today. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are on that same level, who want to grow, who want more, who want different things, who aren't happy with, just kind of settling for basic things, because they want more. And it's okay to want more. It's okay to not want more as well. But if you want more, then you need to surround yourself with people who are on that same frequency as you. You're the average of the 5 people that you're going to spend the most time with. So if 5 people around you don't want more and they're very happy doing minimum, and that's great for them, you're going to be the 6th person. If you surround yourself with five people who are striving to be better, who want more, who want to do different, bigger, make more of an impact, who want to change people's lives, like whatever it might be, doesn't need to be that dramatic, but that's where I'm at. Whatever it looks like, you have to surround yourself with people who are on that same frequency as you. Otherwise, you're going to stay pretty stuck. And that is something which you are in full control of. So guys, as we head into the new year, I want you to just ditch these massive resolutions, which are not serving you, in my opinion, and instead just focus on the mindset shifts, the consistency, the growth, the habit changing. These are the things which are going to lead to life-changing, long-term, sustainable differences into your reality. Success isn't about perfection, it is about progress. And as long as you've got that intention and you're committed to bettering yourself and doing those things on a regular basis, and it doesn't have to be every single day, just something, you're going to be on that right path and you're going to be going up that curve. So if this episode did resonate with you, please make sure you do try and jump on my New Year's Eve call, which is all about our intentions and goal setting for 2025. Only £7 to join, absolute bargain. And I'm really going to be giving you some guidance and real kind of stepping stones into making 2025 fucking powerful. Even if you can't make it live, it will be available for recording. So if you do register and sign up and you can't make it live, I will send you the recording literally as soon as the call finishes. 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. UK time. All you need is your notepad and yourself. And I'm really going to just help you align with yourself, help you align with your values, help you figure out exactly what you want. And I'm going to help you figure out the action steps that you need to take to get there. I will insert the link in the comments. And other than that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching wherever it is that you are tuned in. Please make sure that you do subscribe, like, comment and share. Can't believe we're already on episode 9. Time, like I said at the start of this episode, time is just flying. But thank you all so much for your support. This podcast has really kind of just taken off. It's been a little bit overwhelming at times. I'm like, oh my God, what's actually happening? But so grateful. And I've got so many amazing new guests lined up for you. I've already recorded episode 10, so that's coming for you next week with an amazing guest. I'll give you a little sneak preview of that tomorrow. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Grateful for you all. Have an amazing new year, and I will catch up with you in 2025. Take care.